there, dreamers. It's me, Jacqueline. Welcome to Dreams of Music and Makeup, or welcome back if you've been here before. Either way, I'm excited you're here. We're going to talk a little bit about detailed highlighter application today and some tips and tricks that I would give based on what you're trying to achieve. So if you know what you would like to look like, but you don't really know how to apply your highlighter to get there, allow me to answer a few questions for you. If there's anything I don't answer, please feel free to leave questions for me in the comments down below. I do read everything, as well as if you have suggestions for other videos that you'd like to see on this channel. I love when you guys make requests. I have filmed all of the requested videos that have been left for me in the comments on this channel, and I don't plan on stopping that anytime soon. Within reason, I will film any and everything that you guys request, so keep them coming. If you enjoy this video or you like my style, I hope you give this video a thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe if you haven't already. I do post 2 videos a week based on beauty and skincare and whatever you guys really request from me. I generally post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, just so that you're aware. If you're not getting notifications from me and you would like to, you just need one additional click after you've clicked that subscribe button. Right next to it, there's a little notification bell, and that will notify you every time I post a new upload, whether it be a notification on your phone or an email. You can adjust those settings yourself, but I can't do that without your permission. So if you'd like those communications from me, now you know where to find it. What I want to talk about first is face shape. This is going to be a bit of a review. I'm not going to go fully in depth into this topic in this video. If you'd like to catch up and kind of see the information that we're building upon, I will list my other illusions video here. Should be over in this corner. And I did a blush video based on your face shape and what you're trying to achieve and how there are different techniques to accommodate that. I want to show you how you can emphasize your bone structure in a way that you want to with highlighter. This is creating an illusion by catching the light. So what this is going to do is emphasize anything that you put it on. So think about if you are to create a more vertical line, you're going to be creating length on the face. If you create a more horizontal line, you're going to be creating more width on the face. So they're all illusions of light and depth. So when we're thinking about highlighter, we're going to be adding volume, essentially. So if you're someone who has a fuller cheek, you probably don't want your highlight to be visible from the front. You'll want to apply your highlighter and stop kind of in this region, because when you turn forward, here is where it would be catching the light, and you don't want that. You don't want to add any fullness to your cheeks if you feel like that's already there. For that reason, I would only highlight this portion here. Everything is different based on your face shape, and it will take a couple of tries of applying highlighter on yourself and figuring out what those angles are for you, because not everyone has the same facial angles that I have. But I'm going to show you guys what I like to do for my face shape. I'll show you couple of different things. For this demonstration, I'm using a Real Technique setting brush, and I am using Becca Opal. What I like to do is do small little circles and just barely touch the skin. Why I'm putting this up so high is because I like to create much higher, more prominent cheekbones on myself. If you didn't want to do that, and you just wanted to keep your cheekbones where they are, then you would apply this a little bit lower on the cheekbone. But for me, it creates a youthful appearance and it raises my cheekbone up, so I like to do that. Now you can see that from the front, you can't really see a whole lot of highlight. You can see it right here. I took it just a hair too far. But from the front, it's not creating any volume. It's not giving me that horizontal line. It's not adding any volume to my cheek. But when I turn in the light, I still have that height. I still have that roundness that it's imitating here. For me, since I have more of a long, narrow face, I tend to want a little bit of highlight when I'm looking straight forward, because that adds a little bit of fullness and a little bit of youth to my cheeks. I like to bring this forward so that it catches the light here. This, I want to be the fullest part, so that's the part that I'm highlighting. I want this to appear more rounded than it is, so that's why I apply it like that, personally. And if you don't like this style of highlighting, that's fine. You don't have to. This is what I like for myself, so that's fine. We can all be different, and that's okay. If you're not trying to raise your cheekbone, then you probably want to go right on top of your blush, right where my blush ends here. For me, that would bring my cheekbone down and make my face look even longer, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to apply it again at the very top of my cheekbone. So I don't want this to be under my eye. I don't want it to be on this very, very thin skin here, because that'll just emphasize texture. What I want is for it to be on this highest part of my cheekbone, and I just lightly graze it on and kind of buff it as lightly as possible onto the surface of the skin. Sorry, my hair's getting in the way. Just like that. Now, if I didn't want it to be visible from the front, again, that's where you would stop. That doesn't add any more fullness to the cheek. If someone wants a really, really subtle highlight, that's where I would stop. I would stop at the outside of the iris, at the outside of the colored part of the eye is a good stopping point for people who want a really subtle, natural highlight. I'm not that person, so at least not today. And I want this to be the fullest part, so that's why I'm bringing it down the furthest here. There we go. Now I have a little bit of that youth and that fullness even from the front directly. How I like to highlight my nose, you may disagree with, that's totally fine. Again, this is my preference and my face. Since I have to look at it all the time, I do what I want. You should too. Actually, let's start with the Cupid's bow. For the Cupid's bow, what I like to do, so that you don't end up with a little like highlight mustache, is just graze these vertical parts here that connect these peaks here to the base of your nose. That's what we're trying to highlight. Those parts of my skin are not very prominent, so I have to like intentionally put it there if that's what I want. What I also like to do is do like this, just slightly back and forth, just so you can catch what little dimension my face has there. And go like that. So there's just a light amount. I do already have lip color on. If I wanted to kind of blend that, I would just do that. And then it's kind of more subtle. The brow bone, what I like to do, I've already set my brows. Ideally, I highlight before I do my brow color because I don't want my brows to be shiny. But I'm just going to try to keep it a little bit lower so that none of these bristles overlap with my brow. And I'm just going to lightly put that just in line with where the light hits this highlight. I want it to be on that same plane so that it looks, it's just a dimensional thing. I'm sorry I don't have all the technical garble to tell you, but again, I kind of find the shiny, the nice angle where this sheen is catching the light, and I will again highlight this brow bone so that they catch the light at the same angle is really all I'm trying to do. On my nose, I have a bump here. It's not something that I struggle with, but it's something that I try to correct in an illusion. So I will start my highlight up here to kind of bring it forward so that it doesn't look like my nose dips in right there. So I highlight right here. It's basically like right between my eyes. And then a little much. And then I also like to highlight right here, right on this part of my nose. I don't highlight down here because for me, I already have a long nose. I don't need to make it look longer. By highlighting it right here, it almost makes it so that this lower part of my nose has a shadow just because it doesn't have highlight on it. So it makes it look like the end of my nose is about here. That's why I enjoy highlighting my nose. I also tend to kind of hug this side I stay more to my right, your left when I'm highlighting my nose, because my nose is crooked to that side. Again, if I'm ruining your ability to look at my face, I'm really, really sorry. But I'm not about keeping secrets here. I want you guys to be as informed as I am, and I learned all of this stuff by experimenting on my own. Some people get really involved in books, some people get really involved in sports, some people get really involved in, I don't know, dolls or something when they're adolescents, when they're trying to find something to fill their time that doesn't feel like work. And for me, I didn't really have friends growing up. I was fascinated with makeup and beauty, and none of the women in my family were really into it. So I spent most of my adolescence just playing with makeup and ripping apart magazines and trying to mimic things and teaching myself because no one else had a common interest with me. So I truly have learned all of these things by trial and error on my own face and on other willing parties. So I would love to extend any of that knowledge that I can to you guys, and that's why we kind of do this series specifically. That's what inspired this series. I really enjoy teaching women, and I mean anyone really, how to better their technique with makeup so that they feel empowered and don't feel like they have to pay to get their makeup done with nasty testers on a special occasion and then be paying for that choice for weeks in breakouts and whatever, and if not worse, infections and such. I want you to feel empowered to do your own makeup and to feel flawless. If there's any way that I can better do that for you guys, please let me know. Anyway, another little tip that I like to do for highlighting, and I've mentioned this in a video, so this is not an exclusively new tip here, but I'm going to take that same Becca Opal highlighter on a small tapered brush and highlight my inner corner with the same color. This just gives a more cohesive look to your face to use the same highlighting shade for every purpose. And I really enjoy this little subtle cohesive thing. It's little things like this that just really make your look complete and just have that really balanced visual interest, in my opinion. Another trick that you can do if you would like to up the ante even more, if you really like the glow and you want to emphasize your bone structure even further, something that you can do, I'm looking for the product I want, sorry. Okay. I'm gonna grab Laura Geller Peach Glow. This is a shade that's lighter than the one we've been using. It's a little bit more, as the name would imply, peachy. It's a brighter shade against my skin than this one is. So what I'm gonna do now is add this just to the highest points of my cheekbone, so like right here. I have a little bit of texture there, so it doesn't look its best right now. I'm just doing this to show you guys, not because it's what best suits my face today. And the other side, I'll do the same thing, just the highest point of my cheekbone right on this outer part of my eye. When I do this on my nose, I typically keep it just up here because that's the part that I want to bring forward the most. If you're feeling really daring, you can also put it here. You can put it here. And on the inner corner, it looks beautiful too, to kind of top up. Layering highlights is just going to create more dimension. So just make sure that you're starting with the darker of the two and topping with the lighter one, because the opposite direction will just look a little funny. It'll look a little muddy when you layer them in the opposite order. So just keep that in mind. Another thing that you can do is take some setting spray. I have Fix Plus, you can use whatever you want. This will help to meld all of those powder products, including blush and bronzer and everything else I applied off camera, into the foundation. It will also intensify the shine of the highlighter without making it look chunkier, without making it stand out more against the skin. It makes it so shiny, but it makes it almost one. So I'm gonna show you that real quick. Oh, it keeps doing that. I was having this issue yesterday. It doesn't look like there's this additional texture here. It's funny how it just melds all of that in together So this doesn't look like a powder sitting on top of my face anymore. It's really kind of become one with all of the products on my face. I enjoy setting spray. That's particularly why I enjoy Fix Plus, because even if you're not looking to extend the wear of your makeup and you're not looking for something mattifying, this is something that really helps to get all of the products kind of mingling on your face and not just sitting in layers like a cake. It doesn't necessarily make my makeup wear much longer. It does have glycerin in it, so for some people it acts like glue and makes their makeup last longer. That's just not the case for me. It does really help with this process. You can also, while your setting spray is wet, apply your highlighter if you want it to be even more metallic. I don't want that. This is about as bright a highlight as I'm comfortable wearing just at this point in my life, unless it's a costume of some sort. This is kind of the limit for me. But I hope this video helped you guys. Please leave any additional questions for me down below. I hope you will be back here. Subscribe for 2 videos a week from me. I'd love to have you back. I hope you're having a wonderful day or evening wherever you are, and keep dreaming.